Let's start with the hottest news from this weekend and this infamous interview made by Ettore Messina. At the base of this poor start of the season, there's a critical mistake. We don't have the right driver for our car. Pangos is not the right man to make this team play in a certain way, and I didn't make the right adjustments trying to simplify the game, making him pass more through two big men like Nicola Mele and Johannes Voigtmann. And he continued with another controversial take. Last season, with Shabazz Napier, fixed the situation during the ongoing season and won the Italian league. But this summer, after Napier said that he wanted to stay, he increased his requests even more. We had already offered him the triple of what he was making. We couldn't do more than that, and now he's sending texts to his friends saying that he would love to come back. So, just for the record, Ettore Messina denied the second part of the interview about Shabazz Napier because it created probably the biggest noise, basically putting the player under the bus. From what I understood, there were two Italian journalists who criticized Messina the most about him having two roles in the club. As somebody who makes decisions as the president of basketball operations in Milan, and Messina also playing this head coach role in the team. So Messina decided to invite those two journalists from the media outlets in Italy, to explain the whole situation, how it works, how the process looks, and that it doesn't, let's say, distract him from making, or let's say, from being the best head coach for this team. One media outlet quoted him this part about Shabazz Napier. The other one didn't, and Messina clarified that it was a wrong interpretation by the second journalist who put it on public. But anyway, it still made huge noise here in Europe. Mike James stepped in, and he was really honest with some of his takes, calling Messina a dinosaur, not proving that he can win in today's basketball in the EuroLeague, for putting players under the bus as well. But I would like to hear your reactions. What do you find the most wrong in this whole situation?
What was right about the situation from Messina?
Yeah, no questions. Yeah.
His comments about Pangos, you can agree or disagree, and probably I disagree, and it doesn't stand with me that he's going out to criticize his player that he signed and to say things that might actually insult him, like you're not the right driver for our car. Also, I have to say that in Europe, he's not the first coach to publicly criticize his own players. So with this, I have less issues than with the Shabazz Napier comments.
He signed him last summer. He saw that it did not work because he signed Shabazz Napier and Kevin was injured for a lot of time. In the summer, there were many rumors that Olympia want Kevin Pangos out. But you still keep him, and after 5 or 6 games, you come out saying that he is the problem to all of our faults. I mean, the guy is both responsible for basketball operations, so signing players, which he said in that interview that it's important for me that I have the decisions to sign players. And, a lot of coaches, not all the coaches have that in Europe. And he has, so he's responsible for players, and he's responsible for coaching them. And he's basically right now saying that Kevin Pangos is the guy that is responsible for all his problems. Milano haven't been at least an average offensive team in the last 3 seasons. They have been bottom 3 last season. They have been bottom 3 2 seasons ago, and right now even they're in the 13th position after signing Nikola Mirotic, with Siobhan Shields, in his best shape. So just saying this about your player after only 6 games in the season, when you kept him this summer, if you did not believe in him, what you're saying right now, that you saw him, go from rotation player to going out from rotations in the NBA, just don't keep him in the summer. But don't blame him after 6 games that he is responsible for all those problems.
The biggest irony is that at the end of the day, you have Mike James with all his Twitter takes. I agree with all of them, actually, publicly making fun of Ettore Messina, where 4 years ago, Ettore Messina came in and he just said, it's going to be about the team. I don't need any individuals. And he just cut Mike James off the team. Would Mike James be the right driver to the car? I think he drives the car
pretty well.
I think he's a pretty good driver. And now you're just criticizing the point guards you have chosen yourself. So
just imagine how Mike felt when he hit that dagger in Milano just a couple of weeks ago. How sweet that must have been.
It didn't seem like he cared too much about that, but
I don't
inside,
think
I think he's smiling right now.
I would be feeling great. I would be feeling great.
And it's not only Mike James, I mean, Brandon Davis is one of the fresh examples. Being successful somewhere else, probably Kevin Pangos will be successful. So that's the biggest problem with Milan for me. They're kind of quick to misjudge players, and they make it also in a bad way. They're putting them out of the rotation.
Yeah.
They make them really unhappy with their situation, if they lose joy in basketball. I just randomly and accidentally found an interview of Aaron White when he left Milan in 2019, I think, and he was there only for a couple of months, and he was so mad about the whole situation, how it play out, and he already said that, you know, the whole situation in Milan was so unclear with the game. They played with the situation, nobody knew what to do. He didn't feel any joy in playing basketball, and he felt that somebody else felt the same way. So, you know, it's going season after the season, and, you know, that's the issue with Milan.
Yeah, I look at their roster right now. I don't see any bad players. I don't see a bad player on that roster. All of them in different teams and different systems would be great.
We just see too many good players going to Milan and becoming, you know, miserable.